So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having a wonderful open house so far. I think the VFair platform is super cool. Me and Miriam always say it reminds us of like a 2000s like video game. So I think it's really awesome. So thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry. I have to click. I can't poke my keyboard. So thank you so much for joining us today for the student experience enhancing your time at university. We will be taking questions at the end. So we will turn the chat on then and you will have a chance to voice your questions to us. Even just if you just want to have a chat with us. We're pretty awesome. So we'd love to get you to know you guys a little bit better. So before we start, we do want to take a second to do a land acknowledgement. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So we'll quickly start with some introductions. My name is Marissa. I'm a fifth-year biological sciences student at the University of Calgary. Throughout my degree, I have found a passion for ecology and zoology, and I would love to go into the conservation field. I particularly love hippos and orangutans. I really would love to go to Indonesia and help save all the orangutans. And I'm hopefully graduating this winter, fingers crossed. I am currently working at the Undergraduate Science Center as a communications assistant, where I help bridge the gap between faculty and students through email and phone communication, social media and D2L correspondence, and I'm also in charge of our science mentorship program at the moment. Also, the dog in this photo, it is not my dog. I did not steal it. I was allowed to take this picture with it, but she is so adorable. Her name's Princess Leia, and I also just really love dogs.
And my name is Miriam. I'm a fourth-year biological sciences student. I'm mostly interested in genetics and in cellular biology. I get most excited about courses that involve working with bacterial cultures and live tissues. I just find them very fascinating. I'm currently doing an internship at the Undergraduate Science Center. So like Marissa, I'm the other communications assistant. You might have noticed that both me and Marissa are biological sciences student. However, the experiences that we will share and the advice that we will share today do not just apply for biology, they apply to all science students. And now it's your turn to tell us more about yourself. We will launch the first poll. What excites you the most about university?
Research, work placements. Yeah, a lot of these we will be going over. So you will get a little bit more information, especially about research and a little bit about our internship program as well.
Ooh, attending interesting lectures. Awesome. So here are the poll results. Most people are interested in attending interesting lectures, which is like, following your passions in university, and then making new friends, growing your network. Great.
So next question. What worries you the most about university? Because, I mean, as exciting as it is, it can be a little bit scary. I see figuring out your career. Not gonna lie, it doesn't happen overnight. I think I've changed my mind about 16 times in the past maybe week. So it happens to everybody. It isn't something to be too worried about. You have so much time to figure it out. Classes being hard. We will talk about this, but there is a really big transition between classes in high school and classes in university. But we'll talk about all the resources that can help you figure those types of challenges out. Well, awesome. Thank you everybody for contributing to our poll. We will have one more later, so you don't have to listen to us talk the whole time. So today we're going to give you our advice to help you transition into university. So first off, it's okay to feel overwhelmed. Like I said, university is a huge leap from high school, but you're not alone. It's hard to fully prepare yourself for the transition from high school to university because they're so vastly different. You may not get to see your friends every day. Professors are not the same as high school teachers. And university classes are far larger. So you don't just have the opportunity to go um, talk to your professor during the middle of class like you would in high school. So I came out of university with a 95% average. I worked really hard. I studied a ton. And then my first year was like super duper rough. I was super overwhelmed with the changes. I felt very alone. None of my close friends were um, actually in the faculty of science with me. They all were in something different. And one of my friends actually just she moved to Niagara Falls. So that didn't help either. But yeah, I wasn't doing good in my classes for the first few years. I went in super confident about my biology courses, and I didn't do well in any of them. And it totally made me question whether I was in the right degree stream. But during the end of second year, I found the most amazing group of friends, and they became my rock. To this day, they are still the ones I count on for support throughout any troubles I may have. I know it can be kind of scary or kind of awkward to approach people, but sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and push yourself to talk to people and try to make friends. When you start having classes with friends, it makes them so much more enjoyable, and you have someone to keep you on track with assignments and studying. I'd also say university got a lot easier when I found out what I was good at. So, as a biology major, you can take different types of biology, such as ecology, cellular microbial microbiology, biochemistry, plant biology, and zoology. I came into university not knowing there was any different type of biology. I thought it was just one. So I've taken all of these, and I've really struggled in the ones I didn't like, but I excelled in the ones that I did like and I was excited and passionate about. So you really catch your stride in third and fourth year because you start to get to choose your classes, and they become more specific to the things that fit your interests and passions. You will also get used to lectures and have time to figure out a new study method that works better for university. Overall, it'll be okay. We'll go over some of the ways you can get involved in university life, as well as the resources you can use when you feel overwhelmed or need extra support. If I can survive it, you guys can survive it too.
Now, it's always a great idea to become more involved on throughout your university career. I highly encourage it because being proactive will help you build community and make friends and network. For example, through volunteering, I got connected to graduate students, and they gave me some advice on how to get into graduate school. They helped me draft emails to professors, so it really does open up a lot more opportunities for you. So one way to do that is by joining clubs. So the student union has over 300 clubs that are run and created by other students. There are so many different types, ranging from academic, political, environmental, or clubs that are just for fun. For example, I was part of the sparring club, and I got to practice various combat sports for free with other more experienced students. Not only did I get a workout in, but I also made new friends. Another one is to go to faculty and university held events. Those are usually announced through D2L or through the events calendars on our websites. One very popular one is pet therapy, where you can get to go and cuddle up with some cute puppies and de stress a little bit. Another way is to volunteer on campus. Now, there are different ways to find positions. One way is to check out the resource centers like the Women's Resource Center or the Q Center. They might have opportunities there. One great one is the Peer Helper Program, and they list a bunch of different positions that you can apply for. For example, one of them is the Student Medical Response Team, which I'm a part of, and you get trained to earn your MFR or your Medical First Responder Certificate, and you get to respond to medical calls on campus. I think this is a very cool and unique opportunity, and it definitely helped me develop a lot of skills. Um, Another way is to join various programs offered by the UFC and the Student Union. So one of these programs is the Student Mentorship Program, which we will talk about later. Another one is the Upstanders Program, and it will increase your confidence in your ability to help others with on campus and off campus with mental health and harm reduction. Now, all of these methods that I just listed are great for you to grow your networks, develop more skills, have more interesting things on your resume, and maybe even they might go on your co-curricular record.
Thank you, Miriam. So next we're going to talk about all the different university resources. Obviously, I can't talk about all of them because that would take us more than just an hour. So I will just touch on some of the important larger ones. So the first one is the Student Success Center. The Student Success Center is a university-run center that provides students with resources to help you succeed. These include workshops to help with things like enhancing study skills. They can give you tips for organization and tips for time management as well. They also have their own set of advisors to help you with questions about exploring different degree options or even answering questions before you get to U of C. So if you're interested in talking to an advisor, even if you're not admitted yet, they will be happy to chat with you. The next resource is the Undergraduate Science Center, also called the USC. The USC lies near and dear to my heart because I've been working with them since January. They are an amazing resource for all your undergraduate needs. They provide advising to help keep you on track throughout your degree, as well as programs such as the internship program and the mentorship program, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Next is Career Services. Career Services aims to enhance your employability through career education, work opportunities, and employer events. Career Services can help you explore your interests, professional goals, skills and values, and to help you create a career plan that uniquely fits you. They have multiple ways to support your career development, whether it's one-on-one advising, online events and workshops, or self-guided resources. I personally use their resume rescue resource where you send them you send them your resume and they email you back with changes to make. And honestly, my resume is amazing now. It looks so good and it helped me get jobs like my job at the USC. The last one I'll talk about is the Wellness Center. The Wellness Center provides on-campus resources for both medical services and mental health support. Like I previously said, the first years of university can be super tough and can take a huge toll on your mental health. It is so important that you understand the resources the university can provide for you and use them whether it be stress management, test anxiety workshops, peer listening drop-in, or even to just get an hour of recovery yoga to help de-stress after a long week. Next, we're going to talk about how it is okay to change your mind. The degree stream you choose is not permanent and it's not uncommon to change your mind. Choosing a degree isn't a life sentence. A lot of people choose their degree stream based on what courses they liked in high school. I personally loved biology, so I went into a biology degree. Some people also go into something because that's what their parents wanted them to go into. I know it seems pretty scary to have to make like a huge life decision when you're like 17, 18, but it's okay because if you decide you don't like it, there is a way to change it up. I have many friends who went into business their first year and now they just graduated as chemists. I also know one girl who did physics for half her degree and then she decided that she really wanted to do nursing. Even I've changed my mind multiple times. So I'm just in general biology. And my first year, I thought I really wanted to go into biochemistry. And then I took a biochemistry class and I was really, really bad at it. It was not a good time. So I obviously didn't go into biochemistry. Then I thought maybe microbiology would be really fun. But I was also really bad at that too. So it's a lot of trial and error trying to figure out what you like. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That will lead us into our next point, to take courses that interest you. I have tried so many different options to help figure out what I like. For my actual options, I have taken a dinosaur course in geology, which was amazing because I mean, who doesn't love dinosaurs? And I also took a really fascinating history course about the Holocaust. So those are the ones that stand out for me personally. Taking these options were an amazing way to take courses outside of my usual biology courses and focus on something that interested me, but wasn't a topic that I particularly wanted to major in.
So now the question becomes, how do you find courses that interest you? So one way is to use the University of Calgary calendar, and it lists all of the courses that are offered at the university. So I would go on there and check out all of the courses, read their course descriptions, see if they have any prerequisites or anti-requisites, and I would pick something that particularly stands out to me. For example, last semester I needed to take some options, and I was going through it and I was like, I haven't taken a course labeled music before. Let's see what they're all about. So I went through them and I found one that stood out to me, which was music history, the history of punk music. And I read the course description. I searched the course number and name to see archived outlines from previous years, to see what kind of assignments are involved. And I thought it was very interesting. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I recommend it to everyone, which brings me to my next point, that an easy A for one person may not be an easy A for you. So that course involved a lot of writing. If I had recommended it to someone that does not like writing papers, they probably would not have had a fun time doing it anyways. So it's very important that you check out the courses first, see something that interests you. Don't worry about whether it's easy or hard, because there's no such thing if you're interested in the subject. And so be wary if someone is like, oh, you should take mythology because it's so easy, but then you go into it and you realize it's the most boring lecture ever. You don't pay attention, and you would get really low marks. So yeah, find something that interests you. Which brings us to our next poll. What was your favorite subject in high school?
Biology, love it,
Biology.
love it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's saying gym class.
Yeah, phys ed.
I love gym class.
So a lot of biology people, we were the same, I think, Marissa. But then again, like Marissa and I said, that might not be what you go with, and you might find out that you don't really like university biology, so you end up liking maybe art classes or something, and that's completely normal.
Absolutely. And especially first year bio is, I'm not gonna lie, horrible. um,
You can't say that.
I can say that first year bio was really, really hard for me. But like after that, it was amazing and I love it so much.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that poll, Miriam.
All right. So some troubleshooting and some common hiccups that you might run into. So one of them is you don't know which classes to register for. So one resource is using, again, the university calendar. It will have a list of all the required courses that you need to graduate. So you can go on there and kind of check off all the ones that you have taken, and then see what prerequisites you need for the rest of the courses. Another way is to check the degree guides that we have on the science website. So it lists different semesters and kind of suggested courses to take in which semester. Now, again, this is supposed to be kind of a suggestion to give you a rough idea of what your schedule might look like. Everyone's schedule is different. For example, you might decide not to take 5 courses per semester, or you don't want to take bio and chem in the same semesters. That's completely fine. It's more so to give you a nicer layout of what courses you need to graduate. So you don't feel that your schedule needs to look exactly like the degree guides. Another way is using the academic requirements report, which you can access through your student center. And it's very handy because it tells you which requirements you've satisfied and which ones you still need to satisfy. And that can kind of guide you towards the direction that you need to go in order to fulfill all of your requirements. Another question is that you can't get into your required courses. Unfortunately, that's a very common problem that you might run into. So the best approach is to check, if you see that a class has filled up, is to check back daily to see if a spot opens up. If you feel like that course is going to hinder your progression through your degree, then you should speak to an academic advisors, because they might have some solutions for you. And it's preferable that you do that before the semester starts. So maybe in March when enrollment opens, or throughout the semester or throughout the summer months, because it will be very difficult for you to get in touch with an advisor the first 2 weeks of classes, because everyone wants to talk to an academic advisor. So what are some good spaces that you can study at the university? So there are two maps. One is the University of Calgary map. The other one is the Student Union map. and it has a list of all the different study areas, whether they're quiet or noisy, whether food is allowed, if they have electrical outlets, and where they are. So it's a very handy resource. For example, the TFDL, it's a library that we have. It has 4 floors, and it gets quieter with each floor. At the very top, it's dead silent. However, if you want to socialize or talk, then probably you should go to the first or second floor. If you need help with classwork, one I would if you need help with classwork, I would recommend that you do not use third-party websites. So like Check Study and Prep 101, because those are not affiliated with the university, and that might land you in hot water with academic integrity. So I would recommend that you get in contact with your instructor, with your TA. If you go to the Student Success Center, those have tutoring services there. Also, there are some student union clubs where upper year students help other students with their homework and or like to study and so on. And some of them, like the math club, is in contact with the math department, so they have access to old math exams. And finally, you need some academic advice. Like I mentioned before, you should go to the undergraduate student center and talk with an academic advisor. And just not a lot of people know this, but we are open during the summer. We are open during reading week. And if you have any questions, it's best that you go see an advisor well before the semester starts. So you have an easier time of speaking to someone.
Awesome. And Miriam's not kidding about TFDL. It's like absolutely silent on the top floor. Like one time I was there and I sneezed and everybody like shot you a look and you're like, I'm so sorry. So next we're going to talk about the ways that you can engage in research. One of the great things about University of Calgary is there's tons of research opportunities. So I'll first go over independent research courses. So in each department of science, there are independent research projects you can take credit for to get an idea of what research is like. In biology, it's called a 507. So I did a 507 for a semester where I conducted a study on the metadata of scientific papers and the efficacy of significant results in ecology papers. My boyfriend, he's in CMMB, so cellular molecular microbial biology. He did a 507 in CMMB where he looked at the efficacy of biocides on sulfate-reducing biofilms. I know it sounds scary. He's told me a million times what it is, and I still cannot remember. So he got to do the independent research project, and then after that, he was also able to continue his research using a funding from a grant called MyTax. If you are looking for grants or scholarships, the university website has lots of information about applying for those. And if you talk to professors there or TAs, they're always helpful in helping you write out your applications. The first step in doing research is speaking with a professor. All the professors have their information and what their research is about online, so you're able to research the professors before you speak to them. You can contact them either through email or office hours if you know when their office hours are. I suggest finding a professor whose topic interests you and don't just do research for the sake of doing research. Science is way more fun when you enjoy it, and it's also way easier to write a report about something that you're actually really excited about. I would say the most important thing is when you're writing an email, obviously be professional, talk about why their research interests you, and obviously just be friendly and very excited about the research. Using TAs as resource is also very helpful because you can typically connect with them more often than professors, and they have advice from a student's perspective. I had the pleasure of doing volunteer research in an entomology lab where I got to clean insect samples. I got to do this because one of my TAs during a lab asked for volunteers, and we just got to help out. So sometimes if you just ask for opportunities, you can find some. So the last thing we're going to talk about is other ways to make the most out of your degree. Miriam and I were both in the science internship program. I just finished mine in the start of September. Miriam's in hers at the moment. This program allows students to get full-time paid experience during their degree. This is an amazing opportunity to get experience in either the field your degree stream is in or even a different field. Both Miriam and I are biological science majors, and we received jobs at the USC as communications assistants. Obviously, that's not in bio. I absolutely loved my experience, and I feel like even though it hasn't given me science experience per se, it has still enhanced certain skills such as organization, time management, and I have done so much Excel, it's almost made my head explode. So I'm like an Excel G now. But I can use all of these on my resume, which is awesome. So at the moment, I am helping run the science mentorship program, but Miriam has firsthand experience with the program that she would like to share.
Yeah, so I have been both a mentee and a mentor with the program. So a mentee is a first or second year student, and a mentor is a third year student and above. And the mentor mentors the mentee and helps them throughout their university experience, not with academic requirements, that's what the advisors are for, but with everything else. So as a mentee, I found it very helpful. My mentor was amazing. She really helped normalize my university experience. I had a lot of anxiety about like careers and things like that, but she pointed me to the right resources, had talks with me, connected with my worries. So that was a very good experience because that made my transition from high school a lot smoother than if I was just there by myself. And as a mentor, I found it very rewarding that I could do the same. I would see students' anxieties, when we first met, their anxiety would be up here, but then as the semester went on and we had more talks and we talked about what kind of opportunities there are, and I connected them with other students, their anxiety went way down and they kind of felt more, a little bit